can just put a message, as Jay has done that. Jay, thank you. And Shubham and Sagar, thank you. And let me put a message as well. So yes, so we are into our new week, and after this little break, and the best things first, I have tried to give you feedback of mid exam as well as our quiz one, because quiz one was, of course, you guys might know that, of course, it was automatically being mentioned to you, but it was not graded, and there were a few sections which were not graded at all, and I have just graded those sections also. And now you can see that the grade that you see now on quiz one is basically the right grade. It's the grade that is there, right? So that is one thing. And the secondly, what I have done is that I have given the feedback of the mid exam. Now, I'm really disappointed about this, and it's really a matter of disappointment. And I was really looking for at least one or two students that come up, and they may say that, okay, this is not the right thing that I've done. Even though I know there are multiple questions, and I see a lot of people, they just use the bad means, the wrong means, and I have just, of course, there are other questions that I can really pinpoint, but I just left for this evaluation. But please keep in mind, I have given the feedback over there that since this was the first time in all three sections, interestingly, this question, the question that you see over there, which had a problem, it was like, it's almost, I can say, safely out of 90 people, I think 87 to 80, 85 to 86 people have done exactly the same thing. And there are other questions as well, let me tell you. And I have just intentionally, or maybe I was not able to make a real maybe decision on them. Otherwise, please keep in mind, for a next exam or any assignment or quiz, if it is found that it is basically it's basically meant, it's found that you have done some copying from someone else, you will not only, as I mentioned, you will not only get a 0 in that complete exam or quiz or assignment, number one. Number two, definitely that case would go to the plagiarism. But we have a department that will just take care of it. And the department, it's on their discretion afterwards. They might cancel a complete semester of a student. And you know why it happened? I was really, disappointed, because I tried my best to just, discuss a lot of concepts, the regular expression and everything. But I can safely see from the mid exam, that most of you never paid any attention to my lectures. And of course, whatever came to you through some other means, or whatever came in your mind by somehow, you just implemented that, and you have attempted that. And that's really, really, really bad. And I really feel bad about it. And I really feel disappointed about it. And it's really something of a real concern. So that's having said that, I would like to just make you aware that if this same type of thing, same kind of thing happen again, you would be, of course, there would be the due action would be taken against. And maybe it's very easy for me also to mark your complete mid exam as a 0 grade, at least minimum. But what I've done, I've just graded one question. And I'm right now, I'm saying this for all sections, because, by the way, if I tell you that for this week, I'm just still in a lot of pain. I had some back problem, and still it's very difficult for me to sit. But of course, so I did not have live lectures for last 2 days, Tuesday and Thursday, Tuesday and Wednesday. I will be having this lecture for the first time, and I'll be sharing this with section 4 and 3, I suppose. Yes, this is section 2. So yeah, so this is for all sections. That please keep in mind. I've told them in their sections as well, that please keep in mind, if that something of this kind happened again, it would be considered as, of course, a plagiarism case, and plagiarism case goes to the department, and department, whatever they would decide, of course, it's on their discretion. They might decide about your semester freeze or semester failure. So be very careful next time. And and as I said, I'm really disappointed because some of the people I was expecting that they might just do something good, but like I'm really feeling bad about it. Anyhow, so this is section 2. So today what we are going to do. So first of all, I'll show you what we were doing last time when we last met, because it was a long time before, like 2 weeks before almost. So I'll first of all show you the folder where we're working and what we were doing over there. So Conestoga courses and winter 2024. This was the thing that we were doing. Yeah, so week 5, week 6. So yeah, so we had this week 6, that was the last week. And in week 6, if I open up the notes, we talked about regular expressions. We did a lot of we did one of the exercise where we splitted out the data and we just tried to cover that one, and we just covered, and we had everything getting back. And we stopped at certain point. Maybe this was we had worked on 2 fields and we had to work on multiple fields as well, but I just basically stopped over there. This was script 3 and this was script 4. And for your section, I just shared the video and you could have seen this one. So actually this problem, I might come back to this problem. Today I was thinking about something really important and interesting, that if we go to this content area, and I'm expecting that you guys can also see that. So we have these different weeks that were created over here. What I'll do today, question 20. Yes, I will definitely discuss the solution of that, Jay, and I'll give you that one. So if you go to this, week 4 document, which is week 4 document. So again, I've not touched the PowerPoint slides that were used over here, and we are already into our new week, and we are almost in our 9th week. But again, anyhow, but what I'm telling you is that most of the things we have already covered. But what I'll do today is that I will like to cover that up. So first thing, best things first. Can you guys see your week 4? Jay, you guys can see week 4 there, and the PowerPoint slides also there, the PDF slides over there. Can you guys see that one? Because we have covered most of things, but I would like to talk about some of the some of the things over here, because it covers up the document object model. So what I'll do here is that today I'll follow this slide, and not only this slide, because as I said, we have done a lot of things all together before. So I would be, skimming some of the sections, but there are certain important sections that I would like to talk about. So today what I'll do is, first of all, I will create a new folder, not here. I would like to create a new folder over here, and I will call it week 7 and 8 have gone. So this will be week 9 for us, new week, which is week 9. So in week 9, let's create maybe a new file, and let's call it notes, and I'll call it notes.txt. And remember, this problem is not complete, and I'm not completing that anymore. My motivation has gone down drastically after looking at your solutions, and I'm really disappointed about that one. But anyhow, so yes, so we are talking about these notes for this week, and actually we'll be following up these slides. So there are certain interesting. So they actually, in this week, like this was basically the week 4 when they started. But as I said, we have done a lot of things, so we will just quickly cover that one. So they're saying introduction to client-side programming, to JavaScript. What can JavaScript do using JavaScript document object model? This is the most important part that I would like to discuss with you guys. Client-side scripting, one way or other, I have discussed a little about that. But again, anyhow, we'll quickly follow the slides, and if there is something that I would find. So, when we say client-side scripting, we mean that the browser is interpreting the script. So client-side script actually refers to the script that runs on the client system. So script is downloaded with the HTML page. The browser requires a script interpreter, and it runs the JavaScript on that one. On the other hand, the server-side script is basically, they say they are more secure, can access server, does not expose source code. Never ever the server code is sent back to the client. Look at that. Client can modify a page without requiring server input, faster, more efficient, can respond to user actions. All this work that we do with JavaScript, you can do all those kind of things. But when you talk about the server is more secure. You cannot work on server code. and server data cannot be accessed. It does not exposes the server data. It never sends back the server. It has greater compatibility, not subject to browser's version or limitation because it is running on the server. So if server is compatible to a few things, it will definitely show that. Great processing power, access to the servers, database, write files. We can do a lot of interesting things. What is JavaScript? We have talked about scripting language, lightweight. It completes the three language vital to a web developer. Front-end development, it is called front-end like technologies. So the front-end technologies are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and these are the technologies that we come across. Okay, so now JavaScript, not related to Java. It has nothing, no combination with Java. You know, JavaScript is owned by Oracle. Java is owned by Sun Microsystems, and similar names were marketing decision by Netscape. Yes, it was a poor idea, but anyhow, so they use this JavaScript, and people still confuse JavaScript with Java. There is no relation. They are not even distinct cousin of each other. They are very much different from each other. Official name is ECMAScript. You remember ECA? I told you EC. ECMAScript ES4, ES5, ES6. That is the official name of JavaScript. JavaScript, JScript, and there is another called ActionScript, etc., which are named. What can JavaScript do? Today we'll talk about that. Change HTML elements. It can change HTML element text contents. Change HTML attributes. It can change the attributes. Change HTML styling. It can change the CSS styling. It can validate the data. There are lots of things that JavaScript can do. And here is the tutorial of JavaScript that you might want to access anytime. Now, here comes one point that we'll start from today. Like CSS, JavaScript can be placed into a page three ways: inline, internal, external. Do you guys remember we talked about these three as a CSS? In the same way, JavaScript can also be embedded like this. External is the most preferred way and is the approach we will take for the assignments in this class. So we'll be following up the approach of the external file, external JS, right? So how to insert JavaScript? Very interesting. Can you tell me what type of JavaScript is this? Do you consider that? What type of JavaScript is this? Can someone answer?
Inline JavaScript.
Sorry?
Inline JavaScript.
Inline JavaScript. And why it is inline? Of course, you see that it says inline, the script is placed directly into HTML tag. Input type is equal to button. ID is equal to hello world. So what I'll do, I'll just start. Let's make our first file here, index.html. And what we'll do, we'll just, quickly, because we just want to just check that one. Why not? If I can, I don't know if I'll be able to copy that properly, but let's do that. Yeah, so let's remove this one. Look at that. This is a file. And now we are inserting the JavaScript. And if you guys know about this one, I don't know if you guys know or no, not. Window is actually the major, and I'll talk about that. Window.alert. Alert method is called on the click of this button. Now, if I run this file, let's run this one. So we have got a button. If I click on that, you see that an alert appears. So this is inline JavaScript, of course. Now, how does this JavaScript internal? Mostly people will follow this one. They will use a script element and they would place this script element maybe inside head or inside body. And that would be called as inline internal scripting when you have used a script element. So if you look at that script here, it is not used as over there, but directly putting the script into a text into a element is basically inline. Putting script element and then putting some script over there inside that, it is called internal scripting. It can be internal scripting. And then external script, which is the one that we will be using. We define a script separately and we either call it in head or either we call it in the body. I would always prefer it to be the body, but let's go there and do that. So I don't want this script to run. Maybe I don't want that one. What I'll do is that not inline JavaScript. Let's talk about, we are in week 9. So I'll call it week 9. So we are making a generic document here now. Now, I would always prefer, and I would like you guys, not only section 2, every section, to always create a folder approach. And mostly we should always call them like, we name them in a small letter. In scripts, I will define a script and I might call it script.js. Look at that. Now, how to connect the external script? They have connected it in the, oh, I have just, put at that head. It has to be in the title. Rather, I'll just remove this document and I'll create a new boilerplate, right? I'll call it week 9. Week 9. And now how they have placed, they say that if you want, you can just place script src. Now, remember everyone, we will have to do the relative path here. // I have a script folder. Go to that script folder and you have a script.js. Now they've connected in the head. I would tell you that it might not be the best approach to do that. I'll tell you why. So they've placed that in head. If you look at the document, they've placed that in head. Script src is equal to my script. But do you know it's not a good idea? And why it is not a good idea? I would like to show you something. But first of all, let's check whether a script is connected or not. I'll come here. Now, I write alert. Hello from script. So if a script is properly connected, what will happen? When I run, you see, when I run this document, I will see first this alert. Hello from the script. Make sense, everyone? Now, I'm leaving that in head, but I will tell you that it's almost never a good idea to place a script in the head. And I will give you a teaser introduction of that point, because head is always interpreted first. The types of thing that we are going to do today, the DOM programming, to work this script with the HTML, actually we need to have all the body being loaded. First of all, everything should be loaded and then that script should run. But you know what happens is that if the script is in the head, a script executes first and it tries to read something from the HTML body, but it is not found and we get errors in our code. Jay, do you guys make sense of the statement that I'm making over here? And I'll give you a practical example, but do you understand? Without the body, we are trying to run the script. If a script is trying to access anything inside the body, it would fail. Why? Because body is not loaded and head is always interpreted first. Sagar says yes. Are you guys understanding what I'm trying to make point here? But let's leave it over here as they have done that. And I will show you a practical example where it happened. I'm not getting any response from anyone. I've just seen from Sagar. Do you guys make sense of the statement that I'm making over here? Thank you, Shubham. Thank you. Yes, I'm waiting that maybe, how many of you are wake up or sleeping with me? Varis, thank you. Okay. Still, there are lots of people remaining. Arshid, I've not seen your message. I've not seen Vaishali's message. I've not seen Kamaljeet's message. I've even not seen Puneet's message. Are you guys there? Shri, thank you. Arshid, thank you. I can see your message now. So next time I would be happy that I don't have to call you guys for the messages when I ask for a response. Anyhow, let's come back to the point. So we can do something like that. And if you look at that, they have just they have myscript.js where the script is being written. Why not? Let's copy this script and I will show you something. So we know that how to write JavaScript, but this one I would like to talk about the DOM programming first, because they've started the DOM programming automatically. So what I'll do is that I'll show you something over here. Now look at that. Do you remember that they have used, if I show you again, they have used a statement over here. If I show you, right, let's go back over here. So in the script, so we have the script is working. Script is basically working for us. So if I show you, yes, they had used this window.alert. Do you remember they have used the window.alert in the previous one? They have used, where is that? Window.alert. I want to talk about this window. If I go to the inspector, I go to the console. Remember, this is another area of what is this window object? Window. If I hit window, you look at that. Window is a giant object that contains everything of the website, of the web browser. Alert being first method. So what does that mean? If I write alert, I get the alert. If I write, actually it is not alert. Actually, it is this one. Window dot alert. It is actually this one. If I hit enter, look at that. I get hello again here. Can I say that alert is equals to window dot alert? Do you guys understand that? And it's just showing that one. You see that what it says. Alert is basically equal to window dot alert. So keeping that in mind, we have window has one object which is called document. This is very important. This is the one that we'll talk about. Document. What document contains? The document actually contains the complete document that we have loaded and the form in which this loads the document. It is called a DOM tree. I'll start talking about the DOM programming because document object model. First of all, I would like to ask you guys, how many of you know about this document object model? What is DOM? Can I have a quick reply on the chat window from everyone? How many of you know what is DOM, document object model? DOM programming or DOM? Those who know, they can write that I know, for example, or me. And if you don't know, you can write at IDK. I don't know. Sagar knows that. Sagar, wonderful. I want to know how many of you are familiar with that so that I can plan my. You don't know, Shubham. OK, thank you, Shubham, for letting me know. If you don't know, you can write IDK. OK, Hitesh, thank you. IDK. OK. OK. So can I safely say that, OK, there are lots of people who do not know. So I'll be just, making it a bit more explanation too. OK, I'll talk about that. Let's look at that. What is document object model? Look at that, everyone. It's an API that enables HTML, CSS to talk to JavaScript and vice versa. Look at that. It's an API. It's an application, compare structure and content. It's not compare structure and content. It's actually playing with the content of the HTML. Asking, like, making JavaScript talk to HTML and CSS, making HTML, CSS talk to JavaScript. Jay, are you making sense of it? We learned HTML separately, we learned CSS separately, we have learned scripting separately. But today, through DOM, we can at first, we can ask them to talk to each other. What does that mean by talk to each other? Whenever our document, this document, I'll write something over here. So let's put H1 DOM programming. Let's write for example, a paragraph here. In the paragraph, I write, we are discussing DOM programming today. Right now, I have an anchor element, for example, and I say it is connected to, for example, let's say it is connected to itself, index.html, just for no reason. Or maybe let's do something else. I want to show you something very important. So if I say, for example, I want to connect this DOM to something, hash, right? Hash means just a connecting to something. If I cut that and I put it over here. So I have got a paragraph here. Now, after the paragraph, I need another thing. I would like to have, for example, a UL, and a UL has, maybe 4 LIs. First LI has A, second LI has B, third LI has C, and fourth LI is D. Look at that. I want to tell you something very, very interesting. This is our HTML document. And this is over here, loaded over here. When an HTML document runs in the web browser, what web browser makes of it is it recognizes this with a something called document. And actually this is called DOM tree. It creates a tree of that document. So actually what DOM programming does is it enables us to talk to JavaScript. And how does it do? DOM creates a DOM tree within browser memory. And we can manipulate the elements in that. Now, I'll show you a very quick example. When I have loaded this document, when I'm running this document, if I come here and I say document, just document, I can see the complete document appears over here. Look at that in the body. You see DOM programming, paragraph, script is there. And this script is basically being, injected by the live server. Look at that. So don't worry about this script. So we have UL, and the one script that we have added is over here. This is called an upside down tree. This is called an upside down tree. What does that mean? What does that mean? Look at that. I'll show you over here. It sees the DOM as a tree, and it says that HTML is the root element. This is the root of this tree. This root has two childs. What two childs it has? It has a child head. It has a child body. Makes sense, everyone? If I open head, it has 1, 2, 3, 4 childs inside that one. So all nodes, all elements which are inside some element, they are called child nodes or childs. So it has 4 childs. If I open body, body has how many childs? Look at that. Body has H1 as child, paragraph as child, UL as child. Does that make sense to everyone? Actually, it considers my document as an upside down tree where it says HTML is the root element. HTML has 2 childs, head and body. Head has 1, 2, 3, 4 childs. Body has 1, 2, 3 childs. Interestingly, paragraph has 1 child. Paragraph has a child of A, another element inside that. In the same way, UL has multiple childs. UL has 4 childs with LI. Don't worry about this marker. LI. There are 4 LIs. Are you guys understanding the concept of DOM tree? DOM tree actually does.
Hello, sir. So your mic is mute, I think.
Oh, sorry. I muted it by mistake. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So DOM tree represents the HTML elements in an upside down tree. Upside down tree. Now let's see that upside down tree with HTML being the root. It's an upside down tree, the reverse tree. Now, interesting part is when it represents this as a tree, I can access a lot of things over here from this by using this document. For example, if I say document.title, what is the title of this document? Hit enter. Look at that. Are you guys getting that one? If I say document.head, what is the head inside that? It will say this is the head. If I want to access something like document.body, what is the body of the document? It will just give me the body of the document. Can I have a thumbs up from everyone? Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? So this document actually gives us access to every part of HTML document. We can access every HTML part by using this document dot, because document contains the complete tree of our page. Not only we can access them, we can do something interesting. I can say document dot title is equal to Namanasi. Now, if I do that, hit enter. Look at the top. Have I changed the title of my document? Do you see that? I have changed the title of my document, which is of course temporary, which is just in my browser memory. But you can do that for the Google as well even. Let's go to the Google. Let's go to the Google and play with Google. Look at that. Google.com. And now look at that. If I just come here in the inspector and I go to console, see here, console, I go here and I say document.title is equal to Conestoga College. Voila, we have hacked Google. Google is having the title with Conestoga College. Are you guys getting that one? But of course, this is just in the browser memory because the tree of this google.com was loaded and I went into the title and I changed the title. So it's temporarily changed over here. When I click refresh, of course, it will go back to the server and bring the right Google. Shubham, are you making sense of it? So document dot gives us access to a lot of things. I can say document dot images. If I just say that, it will tell me how many images are used over here in this document. I can say document dot links. I need all the links of the document. It will give me all the links which are available in the document. So it means this document gives us access to not only to the things, but we can change that one. So we do what? By using this DOM programming, by using JavaScript at the runtime, we make changes in the DOM. And I would like to show you something. Bitcoin value today. I'll show you a website. Look at that. So maybe it's a website that would be showing the Bitcoin value or any values. Do you know that when the first time the document gets loaded, there are certain values that are appearing over here. But do you know that every time they will be changing, there will be value changing, it will be changing over here as well? Shri, do you understand that one? And when they change, actually the script runs from behind and it comes here in the UI and changes the value of that particular variable. So do you know what DOM is doing over here, for example? Are you guys understanding? Bitcoin value, if I just again show you over there. So look at that. It says Bitcoin value 67,355, right? And now it might change in the background. As it will change, the value over here will also change. I'm not getting any response. Kamalpreet, do you understand what I'm saying? So actually what happens is the tree gets loaded. It has certain values. Then some script runs from behind. And that script does what? That script actually makes the updates in the values. In the same way, DOM, actually who does it? It's all done by DOM programming. So DOM programming is done by using three ways, or like by using DOM. There are certain steps in DOM programming. Steps in DOM programming. The first step is finding reference to the elements. The element that I have to change. First of all, how can I get reference to that element? Are you guys understanding? The first point is, the first step in doing DOM programming is which element you want to change. You have to first of all find that. So I told you one of the way of finding the elements, but it's a very generic way. I can write document.body, but this means body I'm saying. If I say document.links, how many links are there? There is only one link over here. Look at that. There is one A here, like that. But there must be some proper way over there to find typically one element. To find element, we can use, as I mentioned, document.body, etc. But it is very general. Now, there are certain methods. The first method to find something is called get element by ID. Get element by ID. What does that mean? If I want to make change, for example, in this C, I just want to change this C. Are you guys getting that one? I'll have to allocate, I might allocate an ID to this Li, which is a C. So if I say ID is equal to, for example, let's call it C, small c, or maybe item 3, for example, I give it an ID of item 3. Make sense, everyone? And I want to search this one. Look at that. I'll go back. Now it's running. I'll show this first over here. Then I'll go to the script. Look at that. If I write So this method is called get element by ID. But remember, this get element by ID by itself will never run. Why? Because it is not there. It is inside document. Document.get element by ID. And what is the ID that I'm looking for? Remember, item 3. Go and just get the reference of item 3, which has the ID of item 3. If I hit enter, can I have a thumbs up from everyone? Sagar is also continuously replying, or maybe a few other people. Can I have a thumbs up from everyone? Do you understand that through ID, I can directly access that particular element which I want to reach? This is the first method to access something. But do you guys understand? Of course. Very good. Thank you, Hitesh, and thank you, Yakin. But rest of them is okay. They'll see. Thank you. Right. So document.get it. But you know, the issue is that I'll have to have ID with everything if I want to search something. For example, I'll have to give ID to some, for example, head 1, something like that. I've called this head 1. So this is an ID. So if I want to access this head 1, I'll come here and I'll say document dot get element by ID. And I've called it head 1, for example. You know, I'll call that, I'll access that. You see, I get reference to just that H1. And you know, interestingly, what I can do, I can store that in variable. Let X is equal to document dot get element by ID and head 1. Store that in X, for example. Look at that. Now X has this complete attribute. Right? So it's get element by ID. But again, as I said, this is a cumbersome job to assign ID to everything. And you know, ID has to be unique. So there must be some other way. So there is some other way of accessing these elements as well. One of the methods is called query selector. Query selector and its sibling method, query selector all. This is very interesting. So here we pass ID to this one, and here we pass a selector. We pass selectors over here. Now, interestingly, a selector can be, or selector can be, there can be 3 types of selector. Selector can be, or 3 types. Tag name by itself, we can call tag name. We can call a selector maybe by ID, and we can pass a selector like class name. What does that mean? I'll talk about all of them. Let's come back to this document. Now, first of all, I'll change a little bit of HTML. No, I don't need to change that. For the class, I will change that. Let's come back here. Look at that. I can find an element by tag name. For example, document dot query selector. And if I write H1, I want to find H1. Look at that. It says I have one H1 in the document. Maybe it has multiple, but it will always give the first one. So if I say document dot query selector and I say I need li element, look at that. It just gives me the first li. Now, if you guys are wake up, can someone tell me what if I want to find all li's on the document page? Do you
Query
get any
selector
idea?
all.
Sorry?
Query selector all.
Yeah, Sagar, thank you. Sagar, I would like you to answer in the last. Always be silent and listen to them. You know what I mean? I want everyone to just participate, and I know that you have got the idea. So query selector will only find out the first value. But do you guys know that as Sagar has mentioned, if I use query selector all, look at that, what will happen? It will give me a node list where all li's will be visible. There is one li, second li, third li, fourth li. These are all visible. Did anyone else understand that one? This document select query selector and query selector all with the tag name. So I can pass a tag name and it will find out the tag name for me. Whatever tag name I can give, I can say, for example, find out paragraph for me. It will find out this node list, but it says, since I have said all, there is only one P. And if I say document dot select all, rather, what are anchor elements over here? It will just give me one anchor element. Everyone understanding that? Archit, are you understanding that one? So query selector and query selector all. If we use query selector all, it will come up with a node list. And whether if there are multiple, it will show multiple. If it does not, it will show just one with the node list. So it's called a query selector or query selector all method. But here is the interesting part. If the query select, I told you selector can be tag name or ID. If we have to find something with the ID, remember, I'll have to do something. Query selector, I will have to definitely provide a hash over here to find an ID, and item 3, I have an ID. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? Actually, when you are using query selector, it can have any type of selector. If you want to find out through ID, you will have to pass hash with that ID. Shubham, does that make sense to you? That we have to pass hash if you are accessing an ID. So I can access any value with that ID as well. Or the last part for class, I will have to use. So we have a CSS classes as well. I can just come here and I can allocate this one. And I can say class is equal to, for example, demo. I have a demo class. And class can be on multiple places. So I can come here and I say class equal to demo. So now look at that. I have this document and now I run that. And if I want to find out something with the class, I will use query selector. And remember, I will use a dot over here. And there is no item class, either I have a demo class over here. So if I just say document query selector, you see that it has come up with the first element which has demo class attached to it. And if I want all of them which are class associated with them, what I'll do, Shubham, I'll use the all method. I'll access that and I hit enter and I get what? The node list. It says that these two nodes have the P has a class demo and Li has a class demo. Isn't that cool? We can find through class, through ID by using hash, or through by using a tag. It's a really pity that most of you, I have to call you to just get a response. And it's really pity because there are few people who are just actively replying. Otherwise, it's really bad. Anyhow, so this is actually what the node list that is coming up over here. And even after saying that, no one really bothers to do anything. That is the most interesting part. Anyhow, so yeah, so in that one, we have tag name, ID, or class. We can find anything by ID by class. So this is step number 1. What is the step number 2? Or another step? Another step is creating and embedding new elements. Creating and embedding new elements. What does that mean? We have a method called create element. Again, document.create element that creates a new element. How come? Let's see that. So we do not have any H2 over here. Look at that. If I just write down document, you see that we don't have any H2 over here. We have H1, paragraph, anything. Now let's do one thing. If I write document.create element and I pass H2 here, look at that. It creates a new H2 over here. But it is only created in a script. If I want to embed that into the body, I will have to use another method. And what I'll do, I can say document.body.append child. I'll use a method append child. And I would, for example, I have not given this a name. I'll have to give it the reference. So let's first of all give a reference. So I'll just, create an H2 and I'll call it let new H is equal to, right? So new H is created. Now I'll say document dot append, body dot append child. And I would say new H. Pass this new H and append that one. Now look at that. Right now, if I show you elements before running this, I show you elements. The elements are like this. The body is ending at a script and there is nothing else. Now, if I come here and I hit enter, now look at the elements. Do you see that H2 is there at the very bottom? Because it has embedded H2 in the body of the document. It has embedded H2 in the body of the document. Actually, Sagar, I'm waiting that maybe if, maybe someone else comes up and asks me if you're speaking something or not. That's what I was just waiting. I know you're always responding, and but again, you can see the position. If I'll be silent for an hour or so, though no one will turn up. I think it was you who mentioned before as well when I turned off my mic by separately. So I would request one thing, please. I would request I have a very humble request, and I see someone has already left. Please, if you don't want to attend class, and like again, if you don't want to reply to my questions, if you don't want to respond to me, I would very humbly request, please leave the class. I'll be happy. I'm waiting for, because I don't want to. I just don't want to, teach like it in this dumb environment. I would like to just maybe if there is only one student and if they are replying, I'll definitely be with them. But if you guys do not want, please leave the class. I would like all of you who are not responding to my any of the requests, please leave the class. That would be, I think, much better for me and for those who want to learn. Look at that. Sagar, do you see that? Even that is, I'm not getting any response on that as well. So it really shows that how many people are just, listening to this one. All right. Right. So what it does is actually create element, creates a new element, and we can later on embed that element anywhere. So you can create element P. This paragraph is created. And if I want to embed it somewhere, of course, I can just embed like document.body.append child. Append child will be used to append the newly created. So I can create an element over here as well. Right. So if I hit that, you see that this P will be now inside the body. And after H2, it is also embedded over there. Right. So this is called create element, and we want to create element. Then we have this one. Now the third thing that it does is changing or altering the contents or attributes of the elements. Like, it can just, we can do a lots of changings over there. What does that mean? Let's come back to our document, and why not let's bring a picture over here, and I will have pictures somewhere in the previous folder. So let's image src is equal to dot forward slash. Maybe we'll have week 4. No, that there's no picture in week 4. In week 5, if there is picture, yes. So let's take this mountain.jpg, and I just give its width is equal to 200, and I bring that picture over here. Right. So if I bring that picture over here, you will see that this picture will be here. And now changing or altering the content. We can not only we can just do that one, rather we can just make another interesting thing. If I open unsplash.com, for example, just for the example, I'm sharing this one. So if I open that unsplash.com, rather I'll just open that later on. But first of all, let's do something else. So what we are doing that we can access, for example, I can say document.images. If you see that images, you will find all the images. But if I want to find that particular image, I can give it an ID. You remember I can give it an ID. ID is equal to pic1, picture 1. And now if I access this picture 1, and let's say let img is equal to document dot, I can access that with a query selector and hash pic1. So if I say, you'll see that it has this picture now inside that one. Now I can even change the content of these pictures. How come? I can say img.src is equal to. I can change the picture over here. What does that mean? Again, if I take from Unsplash any link, and I'll just do that. Unsplash.com. Tree. Let's take a tree picture, any picture, and I copy its address. Copy image address. I copied that one. And if I go here, look at that. SRC is equal to inverted commas, and I put that one. And if I hit enter, look at that. If I hit enter, look at that. The picture gets changed. Are you guys getting that one? Not only that one, what I can do, I can access the, remember we have selected that one, the item number 3. So I'll say hash item 3, and I say that dot, it's for example, item 3 dot inner text. I can change the inner text over there as well. And I can write Naman there. Look at that. Look at that. The item is changed now. You see that? So item gets changed here, and we can change the values. Inner text we can change inner HTML. There are lots of other options that we can do. Make sense, everyone? So this is actually what this is basically changing that one. So now we can change that one, and the last option or last thing that we can do with DOM programming, last step that we have to do, run code in response to the events triggered by user, browser, or other code. Now that's the most important thing. We want to run code in response to an event. What is an event? An event is actually what? An event is basically when something happens, by like user clicks on something, user scrolls down, user scrolls up, and all those kind of things. These are called events. So what we can do, we can run some code in response to the events as well. Now I have given you much examples over here. Now I'll just close this console area, and I would like to make changes over here by giving this example. So now one of the event that we can do. So first of all, you remember I can access to that list item 3 by using that hash item 3. So I can say let x is equal to document dot query selector hash item 3. I get access to that one, and in x, for example, right? Now I can associate an event with this x now, which is item 3. What does that mean? I can say x dot on click equal to run this function. X dot on click run this function, and let's do that. Alert. Clicked on item 3, whatever. Let's see that. So on click, when on click happens, runs this function, run this function. Right? Now look at that. Look at that. If I come here, this is my item 3. If I click on this. Okay, am I using the wrong syntax? Let me just. I'll have to just look at the on click. Maybe I'm not using the right syntax for this on click events. This on click is over here, but I want to run this over there. Element on click. I'm doing the right thing. Maybe I'm not accepting that one. Again, I'll just leave that. It's you see that object dot on click, and it has to work as on click, and I'm just running a function over there. It should run. I'm doing something wrong, something else wrong. I'll just see that. Don't worry. Am I accessing that properly? Item 3. Do we have item 3 over here? ID item 3. I'm giving item 3 query selector. X dot on click is equal to function. Okay. Now, who will tell me what is the problem? Who will tell me what is the problem? And I can show you what is the how. Yeah, Sagar, go ahead.
Is the script is linked?
Sorry,
I think script is not linked.
the script is
Did we
not
add?
linked. Oh yeah, you're right. Maybe. No, the script is linked. Sagar, it is linked. Then what is
So,
the problem?
so can you show me the code?
Yeah, sure. Script code, it's here.
So let x is equal document dot query selector item 3. It will get the x. Can you console.log x one time? X dot on click
Console.log
cons.
what? I
Okay. Okay.
I'll
So
tell you the solution, but let's console.log what? What?
no. Okay, can you console.log e, because I want to know that the event is triggered or not. Can you write the parameter e in the
Okay.
small
Oh,
bracket?
you want me to pass the E? Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
I'll
And can
pass the
I?
E, and
Okay.
now I'll show
And
you. And you want me to console log E?
yes. Sir.
Okay, no problem. I'll show you. I know where you are coming from, but this is not the problem. I hope we will, this is a good problem to have, because I'll come here on C and I'm trying to click on this C, but I'm
Okay.
not getting anything. You know what is
So
the
can
problem,
it?
Sagar? Let me tell you. Sagar,
Yeah.
actually I have placed again that same problem that I was talking about. Script is in head section. And look at that. If I bring it to the body, to the bottom, look at that. And I hit save. Now
Yes,
look at
sir. I
that.
got it.
Look at that. Do you see that it's coming up over here? And
Yes,
it's
sir.
showing the pointer event. Sagar, did you understand what I was trying to say in the beginning?
Yes, sir. At first,
It's
like the script run, but our document hasn't been loaded in the website. Now,
exactly,
yeah, I
exactly. The
got it, sir.
document is not loaded and we are running our script. That's
Yes, sir.
that's a bad thing. You know what I mean? So
Yes, sir.
listen, this is one solution, but this might not be a good solution. You say, no, Norman, we want to just keep it over here and we want this script. And you see that I'm getting the error over here already. It says cannot set properties of null. It says on click. What is this on click? Because I don't even know. Shubham, are you getting that one? I don't even know what is this item 3. And you are saying setting on click on this item 3, which is not even present. And why it is not present? Because the script is running in the head. But there is a very interesting solution to that. I'll give you that solution.
Document that
If
get ready, I think.
if we just associate an event listener to this is called add event listener. We can add the event listener like this as well. If we add, not document, sorry, window. If we say window dot add event listener, there is an event called DOM content loaded. DOM content loaded. When this DOM content loaded is done, then run this function. Look at that. Now I'll cut this all and paste it inside the function. Sagar, are you getting that one? I'll paste it here. Now look
Yes,
at
sir.
that. Now look at that, what will happen. Even though I have script still in the head section, but look at that. I'm getting that running. It's running. So did you get it, Yakin? You understand what is happening? So window.add. So always we will just do, and I was about to tell you that about that as well. But this is a good problem to have, because it's not running. So you see that when I click on this one, and again, forget about this event right now. I'll talk about this event. As Sagar has mentioned, every event is produced. But do you guys understand that we can attach an event to this one? And now I don't want this annoying alert. Rather, I can do something very interesting over here. See if you guys understand. I say document dot query selector hash pick one. Do you know we have a picture one? And I say src equal to, for example, the same link that I copied from there. I'll copy from that, from that one. Let's copy that one. Copy image address, and I paste it over here. Look at that. What will happen now? If I come here and I click on C, you see one thing has happened. Oh, like, I don't need this one now. If I refresh that, this is the picture. If I come and click on C, look at that, the picture gets changed. Are you guys getting that one? And I'm doing this all inside this function. Yes, someone saying something? Yeah. So actually what we are doing, we are running this code inside this document. So remember, always we'll try to place our all function code inside add event listener. And this add event listener can be used over here as well. Rather than this, I would prefer this. I would always prefer this x.add event listener. Click. Whenever someone click on this one, run a function. And what is that function which I'm running over here? And what you do is that you just go into document dot query selector, you hash pick one and change its src like source equal to this one that I have copied from there. Look at that. Now it's exactly the same. If I come and click on this one, the picture gets changed. Shubham, are you getting that one, everyone? Yakin, are you understanding this? That now I'm clicking on this C and this changes, the picture changes. And I can make a lot of other changes. I can even change something inside itself as well. For example, very interesting fact. I can even say X dot inner text is equal to you clicked me. You clicked me. I've just mentioned that one. Look at that. If I do refresh, oh, it's already coming up. You clicked me. Why is that? Oh, I put it outside the function. Look at that. I put it outside the function. Look at that. When I come and click on this C, look that you click me and the picture also changes. Isn't that interesting? So now with a single click, I can do a lots of interesting things. Now the difference between inner text and inner HTML, there is one inner HTML as well. So if I come here and I write strong, I want to make it bold, strong. So if I put a strong over here and I put inner text in it, look at that, what will happen? It gives the text, strong text. Do you guys understand what will work for me here? Not inner text, inner HTML, something that renders the HTML. So this property is render inner HTML. Look at that. Now if I click on this one, I get bold, you clicked me. Sagar, does that make sense? It's inner HTML and inner text. Inner
Yes,
text
sir.
gives you, yeah. So inner text gives you the text over here, and the inner HTML will render HTML. And we would always prefer inner HTML over there. Now, if you guys understood that one, we were discussing something from here, lesson 4. Look at that, and I'll just go back there. So what they're doing over here in this program, external JavaScript, there is a JavaScript file, there is a function being over there, document.get element by ID para1. Para1 is an ID over here. It's inner HTML. It should be changed, was last modified by that last modified, document.last modified will give us. Now let's copy this function from here. Why not? Let's use that one. I come here, come back here on the script. I go to the script, and again, please, outside of this word, but inside of this document content loading. I pasted that. I'll have to remove this one. And oh my God. Just give me a second. My screen's got switched off. Okay, so if I just, add last modified. So this is the function add date modified. And now if I want to call this function, what I'll do, I'll just go there in my document and maybe I'll create a button. For example, let's create a button, last modified. And on the on click of this one, on click, I'll call add. What was the name of the function? Add date modified. I want to call that function on the click of this one. Let's now see that if it works. Look at that. If I click on this one. Okay, where does it add that? Oh, it is. So you know what it's doing? It is accessing para1. There is no para1 over there. Why not? If I max it, because this is accessing by ID, so I can write that directly. Item 3. Understand, everyone? If I click on this one, look at that. By ID. Oh, this function is not called there. Why? I think this will be on click over here. Still not accessing. Let's debug that one. No problems. Add date modified is not defined. Okay. Add date modified is not defined. It's defined over here in the script. Why is not accessing that one function? Is this on click correct? Let me just see that one at least. Add date modified is not defined. HTML button, HTML element on click. Okay, it says that this function is not defined. Am I using the right spelling? Looks like spelling is correct. Let's take copy from here. Sagar, can you find out why it's not doing or why it's not accessing this function here? It should do that. It should not.
Yeah, it should do.
It should access that, right?
Yeah.
Uncaught referencer. Add date modified is not defined. Even though the script is included and everything is there.
Okay, sir, can you like try it by giving the ID on the button and because
Yeah,
I think
yeah, you're
yeah,
right. I can do that, but why it is not
yeah,
doing? I know what you are trying to say. You say that I give it an ID here to the button,
yeah,
btn1, and I do that in the script, right?
yes.
Yes, I can do that, but why it is not? You're right. This document dot query selector and hash btn1 uh, dot on click equal to add date modified. And now I'll tell you another interesting thing over here. If I just call it over here, it says that last modified at 17.8. Now it is working over here. And you know what I've done for those who do not know what I've done over here, we have just, add this add date modified over here. Let's call this function. Whenever you are calling this function in on click or maybe add event listener, we just give the function name, reference of the function. We don't call that function. We just give the reference of that function. Does that make sense to everyone? We will just, make a reference to that one like this. So I just called this function and I can call this like that. And again, it's on click and we can just I can even do that. And you remember I was telling you, add event listener, and I would say click and which function I want to call add date modified. Look at that. Now it will definitely work exactly the same way as it was working before. It will change. This document was last modified March 7th March and at 17:08, whatever. It was just last modified over there. Is everyone getting that one? I hope everyone is understanding this. I hope you're enjoying the content. And it's a really, really cool concept. These are really cool concepts that we really work on. So they're just exactly doing that one, but anyhow, they have just, implemented that in a different way. But we can implement this either way, whatever way you want. Now, so JavaScript attribute, let's quickly see that. We previously required HTML4. We used to write this one, but no longer needed. We have just, defaults to everything defaults to over there. Can be difficult to write compared to HTML, CSS, difficult to debug. Why? Because, we need to just go into the functions and try to debug all of them. Many tried and tested scripts are available online. There are lots of scripts that you can just, read by yourself. And if you just go there, this is called event-driven programming, the programming that we are doing right now. So in event-driven programming, what happens is that we just, we have an event that runs on, and we have an action where we just, call that function and it just runs on that particular one. So in event-driven programming, if you click on that one, it will just, show that. So document object model continuing, commonly known as DOM, convention for representing the elements within the document convention. W3C DOM stand consists of three parts: core DOM, XML DOM, HTML DOM. Again, these are all most of the theoretical concept. Look at that. It makes this tree, this type of tree. Do you see that tree? It will make this type of tree. And in this tree, what we can do, DOM is also an application programming interface as it defines the logical structure of document, which allows document to be accessed and modified. HTML DOM is the standard for how to get, change, or add, delete HTML elements. We can delete them, we can add them, we can change them, we can do all those kind of things. Then DOM and JavaScript, DOM powerful tool to allow JavaScript to create dynamic HTML web pages. Using DOM, JavaScript can change all HTML elements, change all the HTML attributes, CSS styling, remove existing styling, add new HTML elements, and react to HTML elements, and it can do a lot of other things. HTML DOM object model, and this is the DOM object model created when an HTML document is loaded in the browser. Document object is the root of the element, and document is the owner, or HTML document is the owner. So, all those properties, and you will find out over there. We have talked about these elements or the nodes. These are the nodes that will continue, and then attributes, and then these are the events. So again, these are all, as I said, we have discussed in one way or other. So document.get element ID and demo inner HTML is equal to this. They're just changing the inner HTML over here. So I'll just have a look at that, what we want to discuss. We'll take a break now. We are already reached to 5:12. So I'll take a break of 15 minutes and we'll be back with some fun stuff. In the meantime, you can have a look at that one or look at these things that we have done. And you can just work on that one. I'll tell you some very interesting facts after that. We might just go up and try to create a little project with this one, just to make ourselves understand the concepts. Right. So let's take a break. It's 5:12 around. So around 5:30, let's take a 15 minutes something break. And around 5:30, I will be back with some for fun stuff. So please, those who are here, yeah. Go ahead. So Sagar, if you have a question, I'll do that after the class. After the class, I'll discuss that about the quiz, right? No worries. So let's take a break and I'll be back at 5:30. Okay, so I'm back. Hopefully everyone is there. Thank you, Shubham. Thank you very much for being here. Okay, thank you. So, what I consider is that you guys who are here, they are here to just, listen to something and to just work on something, because it's actually, it's very difficult to say something when you know that there is no one on the other side or no one is listening to you. And that really hurts. Okay, so I'll show you the next slides that they have mentioned over there, and I'll just show you that. Can you guys see my screen now? Screen is visible or not? Shivangi? Okay, thank you. Right, so these are the next slides. If you see that they have mentioned one more slide on that week, lesson 4B. So let's see them as well. So here again, most of the things that we have already talked about a lot, data types and operations on data. We have talked about this, and I would really very quickly go through it. And again, I'll just stop where I will feel that there is something new. Assignment statement, it says let age is equal to 23 and like that. Operations on data, subtraction, addition, we have talked about that a lot. Concatenation operator, we have talked about a lot. And we have done these concatenations. So again, we have talked about this backticks as well. This is string interpolation as well. We have talked about. So introduction to JavaScript functions and events. So again, I will just so we have talked about JavaScript functions a lot. We have worked on a lot of functions. So there are certain built-in functions: alert, write, open, close, get element by ID, and all those. And making decisions, the selection structure, what if, so if else structure. So you guys understand, Shubham, that it's actually something that we are already discussed one way or other. So I'm just going through these slides and just want to make sure if there is anything that I feel that would be important, I would. So this prompt, we have not used this prompt, right? So this prompt is something new that might be we have not used. Document.write is something that we have never used. So let's quickly make use of these two, like this function get temp, and we'll try to just we'll see that if we can follow that along. So what is prompt and what is this document.write? Oh, this is PDF, so it's always difficult to make a copy of that. So I'll just let's copy it till this point. Maybe I'll copy this and I'll go back to my document. And what I'll do is that again, I'll just do the same thing as we have done over here. After this function date modified, I would add this function. So get temp function, and why not? Why not on this add event listener, rather than calling this add modified, why not call this get temp function? Get temp. Now let's run that and let's look at that. So if I click on this one, it's not last modified anymore. It's now get temp function. So you see that this is called this prompt. Prompt actually asks for a question, and we need to enter anything. I don't know. I'm just entering a random value. So if you see that prompt, temp is equal to prompt. So it runs the prompts and it takes some value. And after taking that value, it returns that into the temp. So I hit OK. That 50 goes into the temp. And now look at that. Document.write, it may snow today. Now it says document.write, which is not appearing over here, anywhere over here. So now let's see that. Where does this document.write goes? Okay, so it's not showing over here. Document.write actually goes into into your our HTML, right? So now if I just take this one from here for a second, why not? Let's take it from here. Go to index.html. You know what I mean? I'll just put it in the inline script over here, like internal script over here. I just get that and I call this on, for example, let's call this, let's try that one over here. If on click equal to get temp. And I'm really surprised that why it was not calling over there, but let's see that if it calls it now over here. If I click, yes, it is calling that. If I give a value 57 and what is the temperature today? So I'm saying 56, whatever. Okay. And it still does not give me document.write. Even though document.write will just, oh, temperature is less than 32. It's just giving a condition, right? Is less than 32. So now let's say I run that because it was not mentioning that it's because. So let's say 10, right? If I do that, look at that. Document.write actually returns like, changes all the page. It missed no today. Make sense, everyone? And again, it should definitely work over there. I was just worried why it is not working over there. I'll cut it from here. And I don't want a script here. And I go there and I paste it here now. Right. And let's take away from on click from here, maybe, because we are handling that over there in our script. So now let's run that one. Let's click on this. It comes up and I say 10, for example. OK, it said it missed no today. So you see that it's a function and document.write actually returns or changes all the contents. That's why I don't prefer it to use. Are you guys getting that one? Document.write, you look at that. It's changed all the document. And we don't want that. We want what? We actually want that it has to be something being embedded into there. So they've used that one over there. Now let's move forward and see what else. So we'll display only if temperature is less than 32, will not display if temperature equal to 32. So this is a dual alternative structures. We can have dual alternative structures if and elsing. Here again, it is using some prompting, get a score, prompting user and parsing integer. So you see that parsing the integer value and then, parsing another question over here and just, making some of the decisions. So you can always check these scripts by yourself. Compound statements using and or logic. We have talked about that. And general form of if and else. These are all things that we have already covered one way or other, and we have done much more than that. Pre-test and post-test, while loop always does pre-test, and the do while loop always does the post-test. So right, it's basically while and do while type of thing. So we have post and do while loop. So these are shortcut operators, plus equal to, minus equal to. Remember, we have talked about that. The increment decrement operator again. This is something we have done. Break and continue. If you want to break somewhere, you can just break over there, or you can use the continue. Continue statement allows you to skip an iteration. So it will skip an iteration of the loop. If you want to skip an iteration, it would just do that. Arrays. We have said too much said about arrays. We have talked about push method. We have talked about a lot of things. So they have just manipulating those arrays over here. Length property. We have talked about this length property and methods of array object. Look at that. Concat, join, push, reverse, shift, sort, splice, toSpring, unshift. So there are lots of methods that are there. You can always use them. And we have talked about introduction two-dimensional arrays. Two-dimensional arrays we might have not talked about, but let's look at that over here as well. Filling a two-dimensional array. So two-dimensional array are, again, have you guys worked on two-dimensional array in C language? If you have worked over there, it's almost the same over here. Did you guys work in C language? Yes, Sagar says yes. So it's exactly the same, using nested for, we make rows and columns. So rows are new arrays, the first row, second row, third row, and these are exactly the same. So I'm not discussing that as well over here. JavaScript objects. JavaScript is an object-based language. It's not object-oriented. It uses objects, but does not support some features necessary to be object-oriented. Class inheritance, polymorphism not supported. They can be fake, but are not really. So JavaScript object, this is very important. And I would like to talk something about this one. First of all, let me see. Yes. So I want to talk about this JavaScript objects. This is something that we have not talked about. And I would like to talk about this over here. Objects in JavaScript. So, objects in JavaScript. So, if I write let x is equal to 10, you know that we are talking about a number data type. If I write let y is equal to square bracket 1, 2, 3, you understand that I'm talking about an array. But there is another data type in JavaScript that is quite interesting. And it is called object data type. Object data type. What is object data type? It starts and ends with the curly brackets. Make sense, everyone? Curly brackets. And it has the values. If I write another object, obj2, it has inside the values in key value mapping. What do you mean by key value mapping? I can have name, Alan Smith. I can have after comma age, and I can write 20, for example. I can write email, and I can write alan@gmail.com. Are you guys getting that one? This is called object data type. Now, a quick question. I would like answer from everyone. Did you guys ever worked in this type of object data type before? In any other language, in C language or somewhere? C does not use that, by the way. But have you worked on this one? Oh, C sharp. Yes, in C sharp you have worked on that. Wonderful. That's wonderful. So you guys know about that one, and that would really give me a quick thing. The thing that I want to talk about over here is very important. And the thing I want to talk about over here is a constructor function in JavaScript. Constructor function in JavaScript. Now, as you have studied C sharp, you know what is constructor there. Of course, you would have studied that constructor. Shivangi, can you define me what is a constructor? Because in C sharp, you would have definitely studied constructors by now. That what are constructors and how do we use them? Classes and constructors, those are the two concepts over there, like, classes and objects and then constructors. Can Shivangi or anyone, Anila, can you just make me, define that constructor? What is constructor? Yes, constructor. Now I'll change my question. Did you guys study constructors in C sharp? Sagar, have you discussed constructors in C sharp while you were discussing classes and everything? Okay, that's wonderful. In classes, we use constructor to define the function of the class. Wonderful. Here comes a very interesting part. In JavaScript, constructors can be defined without the class also. I repeat, in JavaScript, constructors function can be defined without the class. Do you guys remember that constructor was the function with the same name as the class name in C sharp? And here, if you define a function with capital letter, it is called constructor function. A function that starts with a capital letter is called constructor in JavaScript. Are you guys getting that one? Any function that starts with a capital letter, usually that is called constructor in JavaScript. What is the use of that? I'll just come back over here, and rather than working on that, because it's a little special topic, I'll come here in the scripts. I'll create another script and I will call it objects.js. I will work on objects over here. So constructor function, like I'm saying that any function that starts with a capital letter and maybe it accepts 3 parameters, F, L, and A. And yes, you are right. It initializes the object, but in JavaScript, it initializes the object of the class. But here in JavaScript, you can define a function as constructor function, and you can use it to create objects without having a class. Very interesting. How come? It will do what? It will create, for example, a variable for itself. It will call F, this dot first name, this dot last name, another variable equal to L, this dot age equal to A. Are you guys getting that one? And again, since you guys have studied that one, you will completely understand what this constructor function and how can I use this one in JavaScript. I can use this to create like this. I say user1 equal to new user Alan Smith. Oh, yes, and age 22, for example, 22. If I console.log this user1. Do you guys understand what is happening now? Now, I'll just connect it here. I'm just right now taking away this script from here just to show you those things, right? And objects.js. I'm connecting it because I can show you the output over there. Look at that. I'll have to go in the inspector queue because I'm doing what? I'm actually doing what? Oh, that's not in the scripts. I'm doing what? I'm actually doing consoling. So look at that. Refuse to
Well,
execute
I
it.
think objects, you have written objects.js while in script.source
Oh,
in
okay.
index.html.
Okay, not a problem. Okay, object. It is object, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Look at that. So do you see that, Sagar, here? We have got that object over here. So I can create multiple objects by using this constructor function. User2 is equal to new user, and I can say Bob and Smith again. Let's see that. And let's say 23. I have another object. And what I do that I print the other object as well. Look at that. I've got two objects over here. Everyone understand that? The thing I'm about to tell you will a little shock you or little surprise you. Of course, this constructor function is behaving almost like a class or an object. Shubham, does it behave like almost like a class? The only difference is it is a function here, it is not in the class. But as I told you in JavaScript, it is called especially a function. Now, this constructor function can have even methods inside that. So for example, let's say it has a variable called logged in. It is a user, so it has a logged in status, which is false right now. And this has a function called login, and I define that as a function. This function does what? It accesses this dot logged in and makes it true. Are you guys getting that one? It has a function called logout. This dot logged in equal to false again. Now, how many of you understand? When I create a new object, this object will have everything inside that one. Its fields. Look at that. It has created first name, last name, age, logged in, false, everything. And then there are two functions as well inside that one. Does everyone understand that one? Now, what if I create 1000 users? User number 1000. Like again, in my program, there are 1000 users. Zachary, Golan, something, right? 33, let's say just 33, whatever. And I print that one as well. Do you guys, oh, sorry, user console.log, user 3, oh, user 1000. User 1000. Look at that. I've got these three one. So J, just try to concentrate what I'm trying to say here. Whenever I create a new object, it comes up with all these values. Whether I call or not this login and logout, they are always part of the body of every object. Do you guys agree with that one? If I have 1000 objects, every 1000 of every object will contain definition of login and logout, even though I'm not using that. I might use it for someone. For example, I can say here user2.login. Call this login. Maybe I can do that. And then user1 will be user2 will be login. Are you guys getting that one? Let me show you. So user2 first I print that, and then I again print user2. And let's remove all others. Look at that. I might call it for this one, and look at that. This has logged in true, and this has, oh, it's showing true for both. Interesting. Did I make it true? No, I made it false. Interesting. Why it is showing? Let me just clear that. It should show false here. You know what I mean? It should first show false here. So it might be accessing that one before. Anyhow, we'll just talk about that. But even if I use it or not, I'm trying to make a point. I'm not worried about that even. Do you understand that any thousands of users you will create, every user will have these two function definitions inside that? Agreed or no? Everyone will have this code inside that. So JavaScript says that those features or those functions or those values or those properties that you don't want to embed in every object, don't put them in the constructor body. rather put them into something which is called prototype. Now, what I'll do, I'll copy this one and comment it out. Now I'm saying that whenever a new user is created, this login and logout function both are basically embedded in the body. And I can see that even if I just hit refresh, everything is gone. And if I just, if I create one user, let user one is equal to new. And let's say Alan. And let's say Smith, let's say 20. So when oh, new user. So I just, do that. And now if I just console.log, I've done that one. User one. Look at that. So I've got this user over here and it is getting login and log out. Now, even if I use this login or log out, it will be there always. So instead of putting these in the function, comment that out over here. I'm commenting out these both methods. And instead of put them into the prototype. What is prototype? Look at that. I would say user dot prototype dot login is equal to a function that says this dot logged in is equal to true. Are you guys getting that one? User dot prototype dot logout is equal to function. And this function does what? This dot logged in equal to false. Look at the difference now. I have taken out these two functions from the body of the constructor function and put them in the prototype, user dot prototype. Put in the prototype of user. Now, first of all, if I create an object now, and I print this. First of all, look at that. I don't have those two functions in the body of the newly created object. Can I have a thumbs up from everyone? Do you guys understand? This login and logout function are not automatically part of the body of the function now. Body of the constructor. Only Sagar understands that, looks like. Okay, Hitesh, thank you. So no part of, but are they available? Sagar, what do you think? Are they available? If I say user one dot login, if I want to call it, can I call it, Sagar? What do you think? Interestingly, yes. Yes, I can call them. And look at that. Hopefully now it will show the right thing. I can call them and look at that now. Somehow it is just showing true for both. It's very wrong. I don't know why it's something in the memory it is doing. But anyhow, I can call it and it has changed. It has changed the logout. Make sense, everyone? But like where they are coming from? Actually, these functions are coming from this prototype. You see prototype? Everything. So these two functions are prototype that I have defined, and then constructor, and there are lots of other prototype functions over here. Shivangi, do you make sense that constructor is very interesting in JavaScript, which has actually it is same to if I make a string, if I say name is equal to new string, Norman, for example, I define a name and look at that name. Name is a string. And if I just say dot length, dot to uppercase, dot to, those functions are not automatically part of it. I'll have to go to the prototype. These functions are all defined in the prototype. So Shivangi, they do not automatically become part of my object name, Norman name, but they can always be called. I can always call them. I can say name dot to uppercase. I can just always call them. Hitesh, do you understand that, Varis? Is it understandable? It's called prototype. So we can define or we can just put those things inside the prototype of it. Right? Now, if you understand that one, this type of inheritance or this type in JavaScript is called prototypal inheritance. This is called prototypal inheritance. Shubham, are you getting that one? It's called prototypal inheritance. When you define an object like, with a constructor function, and then you put something in the prototype which does not automatically, even, I can do another interesting thing. I can even do this user dot prototype dot logged in. I just define this logged in also in the prototype, and I just take it away from here. Now see here. Now even logged in, it should not be the part of it. Did I hit save? Logged in is still part of it. And you know why it is part of it? Because I've called this logged in. I'll just show you. Look at that. If I just do that, look that. Do you guys understand? Shubham, do you see that? Now logged in is not part of it. Why? Because logged in is also inside prototype now. So anything that is in prototype will not come here. Look at that. Look, logged in is also in the prototype. And once if you change that, of course, it will be available to every object because it is available. It is available. I can even do that. Look at that. I can do that. I can say user1 dot logged in equal to, for example, I'm changing that true. I do it by myself. And I again console.log user1. Hopefully look at that now. Now see that I have logged in true here as well because it's just giving that, and logged in true here as well. So logged in is available, but it is available in prototype of the function. Did you guys understand this prototype? Because if you understood this one, I want to show you something. The next thing that I want to do is a very interesting little project that I want to do with you guys. And I will only do this if you guys want. There's a very interesting project that will cover most of these things. Even I will cover some object oriented in that project as well. But if you guys say, if you're not interested, I won't do that. If you are not interested, because I'll be doing the project, and let me first of all show you that project just to make your interest in that one. I'll show you that project first of all, and then I'll just do that. I'm just showing that. Just give me a second. And I would definitely ask you guys that whether you want that or not. Look at that. I want to work on something like this. But again, I would really need your feedback. And then look at that. First of all, Sagar, look at that, the project first, and then you decide about that. Whatever we have learned today, I want to make something like this today. And what is this? It's a sort of a book library type project where if I hit add book, oh, its script is not connected to this one. Maybe look, just give me a second. Its script is not connected, and I'll connect this script. Just give me a second. Where is that script part? It's not link. Oh, where's the script? Oh yeah, so I have just started the other script. Script.js. Look at that. Now look at that. This is a library project that I want to work on. Look at that, Sagar. If I just click on add book, it gives a red box and this disappears. So it says that no field should be empty. Look at that. No field should be empty. If I enter all those values and I hit add book, it gives a green box and it adds some books at the book at the bottom. If I add another book, it adds a book and it gives a green pop-up over here. Now, in the same way, if I want to delete some book, I'll come here and I'll say delete. It says book deleted successfully. If I click here, it says wrong area clicked. Click on the X. Are you guys interested that we should do this project, little project? This is very interesting and it will cover most of the concepts today. And also, as I said, I will cover the object-oriented part of it. I cannot see anything. Oh, Hitesh, you cannot see anything. But why you cannot see anything? Hitesh says that Hitesh cannot see anything. Why? Hitesh, don't you see my screen? Hitesh, can you unmute yourself for a second?
No, sir.
Yeah. So Hitesh, don't you see my screen?
No, sir.
Can you log out and log into Team again, because Team sometimes does that? Can you log out and log into Team back?
Okay, sir.
Quickly do that. I'm waiting for you. You know, when you'll come back, then I'll start talking about that.
Okay, sir.
So Hitesh, let's wait for Hitesh because Hitesh cannot see my screen. So Shubham, does this look an interesting project, by the way? A little project which is doing some interesting stuff. A pop-up appears, a pop-up goes away. We can add the book. And right now it is not having persistent book, but I can just make it that it would be a persistent values as well. Hitesh, now can you see my screen? Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So we want to do this project. So as I said, if you guys are interested, I'll do that. If you're not, I will not do that. But if you are interested, let's quickly do this one. Give me a second. Now let's see that. I'll come here and I'll open up my folder where we were working. We were working here. And winter 2024, week 9. Let's work on here. Okay. Right. So now see here. Let's create for this one. Let's create another HTML file called books.html. And in the scripts, create a new script called books.js, right? I'm just, trying to make a little project different. Let's create the HTML over here, the housekeeping stuff. And in the books.js, let's put an alert and check whether we are connecting to that one. Books script working. Look at that. I will hit save, and I'll run this one. Look at that. This is our document, and I would like to connect the script to it. Look at that. I'll like to connect the script. So I'll come here in the body. Again, to be on the safe side, I'll say script src equal to // scripts, and which script I want to connect? Books. Let's connect it and let's see if it works. Yes, book script working. Everyone is good with that one? Please let me know so that I can move forward. I've just done the housekeeping stuff. The script is working, and I would just remove this alert because I don't want this annoying alert every now and then. Wonderful, thank you. Now let's come back to HTML, and let's first of all work in HTML. So in HTML, I would like to first of all apply a container class at the very beginning. And why I'm doing that, I'll let you know. Container class, div container. Inside that, I would say book library. I will just give a heading of book library. Let's call it book library, something like that. Right now. So after that, inside that same div, I'll create my form. The form, we have talked about HTML forms. Now I'll talk about that. I'm not giving any action today. I'm rather giving it an ID. And I'm saying book form. Right? Inside this form, I would like to create four controls. So for every control, I'll create a div. So the first control, label, and I would call this label for title. The first label is title. And now input box, input type is equal to text, and I would give it an ID of title because I will be accessing that with the ID. Look at that. Everyone understand that one? And I'll copy this div 3 times more. Second, third, fourth. I've copied 4 times. Now, for the second one, I'd like to change for title to for author. Author. And here I would like to change ID to author. I would complete this and then I'll take the feedback. Author. And the third one should be ISBN. ISBN, and I'll come here and I'll say ISBN over here as well. Oh, ID. I would like to give ID always in small, right? ISBN. Now the last one is not should be, it should not have a label because I'm just creating a button of submit type. For the last one, what I'll do, I'll say input type is equal to submit. Right? Input type is equal to submit just, and value is equal to add book. Look at that. This is the output of. Now, one more thing that I would like to do. I've told you that there are lots of pre-made libraries that we can embed, CSS libraries that we can embed in our document to make it look a bit better. So I will go here and there is a library called Skeleton CSS. And I would like to find out its CADM. Did I use skeleton before, Anila? I think no. So I'll copy this link from here. And I'll come inside my head document and I'll paste it and I'll show you after that. So when I hit save after putting this library, look at that. It started to look very nice. Now, I'll do one more thing. In every input, I will apply a class which comes from skeleton CSS. Class is equal to u-full-width. This is the class that I want to apply. It will apply for the full width. I'll apply it for all controls. Just the input box and into the button as well. Look at that. When I hit save, what happens? Now I will ask everyone. Is everyone with me till this point? If you are left behind, no problems. I can share the code because I want you, since you guys are seriously trying to learn, so I can share the code with you right now so that you can have that code with you. Do you want me to share the code? Oh, you want me to share the code? Okay. Let me complete that, Anila. First of all, let me go. After that div. Okay, wonderful. After that div, I'll share the code. First of all, let me complete that, Varis. Look at that. So after that div, I want to create a table. Here, a table. What will be the table? Let me tell you. Table will have a T head. In the T head, I'm creating a row, TR, and in that, I'm creating first TH. TH. So table header, and I'll say title. And I would say author. I would say ISBN. Now, the area where I would be adding the books. You guys understand what I'm trying to say? This area, I would try to, what I did, I took it out of the div. That is bad. And I'll have to take it into the div. Look at that. So I have a table and I can give this table also a class equal to u-full-width. Again, those who are left behind, don't worry. Look at that. I have got this table over here. Now I'll share the code. Control A, Control C. I'll go to my, I'm sharing this as a code. Don't worry. Code snippet. Now, those who are able to copy the code, please let me know over here and write copied. They have copied the code. I have shared the code. These are 50 lines around. Are you guys able to access copy it? Sagar, thank you. Wonderful. So you guys were not able to follow me along, like, when I was typing, because I know that I have a bit faster speed. That's wonderful. Two of them. Hitesh and Sagar have copied. Everyone else has the code. And they can see the library like this. Wonderful, Anila. Anila, thank you. Shubham, thank you. Okay, wonderful. Now I just want, or maybe I want to add one more thing over here. Please come here and do that. I'll come here and T head. After T head, I would like to add T body, the table body. And here, I will write in comments. Actually, what we have to do, whatever new book will come, this has to be coming here, for example, as a comment over here. Do you guys know what I'm trying to say here? Ivor Horton, for example, TD, and for example, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you guys know what I'm trying to say here? Actually, we have to by code, I have to create this code over here inside the T body. Vaishali, are you making sense of it? In this T body, I'll have to create all the rows. User will enter that one. Exactly. We have to add this by using the JS. JavaScript. Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, everyone good at this point. Let's go back to our script and start talking. Before doing anything, remember window.add event listener. I would always like to add DOM content loaded. And here I would like to work on function. And again, I'll show you this. I'll work everything inside that. So this is a body of my script. Make sense, everyone? Now, first of all, I need to get reference to this form. So to get reference to this form, I have given an ID book form. So I'll come here. Let's write the code. Let form is equal to document dot query selector book form, book dash form. I've got the reference of form. I've made an intentional mistake. Yes, okay, who will tell me?
Yes, sir. ID.
What is the mistake?
ID, sir.
Sorry?
We have to put has in front of the book form.
Exactly. And does everyone else know? That's wonderful. I forgot to put a hash. If it is a query selector, we need a hash here. It is not a get element by ID. If I was using get element by ID, it was not needed. Anyhow, I get that hash, and now form dot add event listener. Add an event listener to the form. And what event? Submit. When someone submits, run this function. When someone submit. So let's first of all, every point of time, do the consoling. Check form submit working. Always do the console logging. Let's do that. Let's come here. Console. If I click on submit, look at that. It is coming and going away. Remember, everyone, this is very important. I'll come here in the function. I would say event or E, as you know, as today Sagar also mentioned. And here I would come here towards the end and I'll say E dot prevent default. This will default this will prevent the default event to happen. Now look at that. Now your form submit working is over there. Hitesh, did you get that point that I'm mentioning? I got the reference of the form. And then on the submit event of this form, I'm running this function where I just console.log and console was running away. So I had done prevent default. E.prevent default does what? It prevents it from just running through with it. It just keeps its output on that one. Shubham, did you get that one? And Jay, are you guys understanding what I've done? Prevent default. Now it is showing that one. So I don't want to console this one. I don't want to console. Actually, I want something else. What I want? The first thing I want is that I will create my own variable title. Document dot query selector. Now you remember we have given a hash title of that one, hash title. Let author is equal to document dot query selector. I'm intentionally making another mistake, but I'll tell you what is that. Author. Take out the author. Let ISBN is equal to document dot query selector hash ISBN. I want to capture all the whatever is being given inside these three into title for the title one, author the author one. Now, every step of the way, check console. Did I get the right title and author and ISBN? Sagar, I know you would have found out what is my mistake. I've intentionally made a mistake and I have done that because I want to show something. Now look at that. If I hit add book, if I add book, look at that. It gives me console input type equal to text title author. I don't want input type is equal to text. I want their value. Jay, can you guess what I need to do? I'll have to come over here. After hash title, I'll have to say value. I want the value of the input box. Now look at that. I've just done for the title. Look at that. If I hit submit, I'm getting the first value, but second, of course, because I've not changed that one. Varis, can I have a thumbs up from you and from everyone? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Value. I want to drag out the value from that one. And that is what control That is what control, that is what console.log does, that you know that what mistake you are doing. Now, if you see here, if I enter a book name, I enter our article name and whatever, and if I hit add book, look at that, Java, Ivor Norton, whatever, and 1233. Does that make sense to everyone? Now, we don't want to console this. Actually, we will create a function. And this function, I'll call it add book to list. And take these three things. Take the title, author, and ISBN. I pass these three things. I'll create that function after this function, because I've been creating a new function, add book to list. Now come here and create that function. Function add book to list. It will accept three parameters, T, A, and I. Right? Now, after receiving them, what it will do? Now look at that. I left a HTML comment over there. It will try to create a new row and put the values that it has received from the text boxes in between TDs, create that row and embed it inside T-body. Hitesh, does it make sense? It has to do all these steps. Now let's do those steps. The first step, create a row. Let tr is equal to document dot create element tr. Create a new row for me. Does that make sense to everyone? Now, tr dot inner HTML equal to, you remember backticks? I will use backticks over here because I want to write some HTML here. So I'll write td, inside td, first of all, put author. Oh, title, sorry. In the first td, put title. In the second td, put author. Close the td. In the third td, put ISBN and close the td. Do you guys understand? I am cooking up, I'm making this tr ready for me. And looks like this tr is now ready for me. Let's check that one. I console.log tr for a second, just to check that. So if I enter few values, Java, Ivor Horton, 123, and if I click on hit, look at that. This function has created a row tr, which has a TD with Java, TD Ivor Horton, TD 123. Are you guys getting that one? What else is remaining? I need to embed this tr, which I have created, into this area. Now, to embed this in this area, I need to give title to this area as well. And I can call it book list, book dash list. Oh, not title, sorry. ID, sorry. I need to give an ID to this book list. Hitesh, did you understand why I'm giving this ID? Because I have to access that and append the child over here, the row. Look at that, what I'll do. After creating that, what I'll do is that I'll write document dot query selector. And I would say hash book list. The book list access that and append a child there. And what child I want to append? I want to append tr. Did you guys understand? Now, let's come here. Let's enter a book. And I hit on this button, submit. How many of you can successfully see that? You can write me in the chat window, M or me in the chat window. How many of you can successfully see that? Yes. Now we have got this added over there. Wonderful, Sagar, you can see that. Shubham can see that, I think. Varis can see that. Wonderful. Yakin, that's wonderful. Are you guys understanding what we are doing? We are doing a wonderful thing over here. We are just making a row which is being added over here. And in this row, we are just doing that one. All right. This is great. But now let's talk about this. If I add a book, these three fields remain at their own position. And I click on this one, they can keep on adding that. This is not the good thing. Always when something is being added, something has been added, the field should go empty. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? I need to empty, otherwise I'll keep on doing that and it'll just keep on printing that one. So I will make another function that I'll call over here and I will call it clear fields function. And let's create this clear field function over here. Look at that. I'll create function clear fields. And now, very simple, just go and access each element, each value, hash title. First of all, the hash title. And make its value equal to null. Do you guys understand that one? I'll just copy this for all three. Now, I want you to clear author. And I want you to clear the ISBN. Look at that. Fields goes empty. Make sense, everyone? But there is another problem. If I again click add book, it adds an empty book. And if I leave out any field, it adds, without that field. It adds without that field. Look at that. Looks very odd. There should be control to this. Book should never be added unless all fields are being filled in. So where I can check that? Can I check this over here? Look at that. If t equals nothing or pipe sign, a equals nothing, pipe sign, I equals nothing. Do what? For example, right now I'm doing alert. No field should be empty. And else do this all. So you only do this all if no field is empty. Are you guys getting that one? Look at that. If I click that one, it will say no field should be empty because I've used a simple alert, which is annoying, but I'm using that. Now, if I enter everything, yes, the book gets added. If I just leave any of the field, because ORing is there, it will say no field should be empty. Did you guys get the concept of this one? I'm doing the validations over here. So I can do the validations directly from over here. That if anything is not being added, just don't do that. Otherwise, add the book. Now, while adding the book, you remember that we were having a delete option as well. So why not let's add that delete option? So while I'm creating a new row, why not add another TD? And inside that TD, I create a button and I give it X as the title. Look at that. Look at that. I've got a button with the X on that. I just add this add. And here in this button, I would like to do one more thing. Class is equal to delete. I'm giving a class of delete as well, because later on I will be using this button to delete this value. Look at that. I have this button which has a class of delete also being added to this one. Makes sense, everyone? I hope everyone is understanding that one. That now it is done. Now here comes the concept. I don't want this alert to do that. This is very annoying alert. I don't want this one. Rather, I want to create, I'll just show that to you. Rather, I want to create my own method that will be called as show alert. And that would be much more interesting method, show alert. I want to call a show alert method. What will show alert do? Look at that. So show alert function, show alert. First of all, it will receive a message. Now, what it will do? It will come to this document before this form over this area. I'll write that virtually. Here, it might create a div and put the message, no field should be empty, whatever message is passed, and create this div over here and place it over here. Are you guys getting that one? Before this form, it creates this message and new div. Vaishali, are you getting that one? So it's something, the job of what? This show alert method. Voila, it means that it will do something interesting. Let's do that. Let div equal to document dot create element and create a div for me. Make sense? Div dot inner HTML is equal to, for example, and I can do a back tick. Why not? I add a paragraph. Why not? And I put this M over here. Now, here is a method that I would like to discuss, that I would like to tell you, which we have not discussed directly, but I would like to discuss. Where I want to insert that one. I want to insert this before this book form and in this body. So now see here what I'm doing. I will first of all get reference to this container like this div, because this everything is inside this div. So I'll say in this container div, before form, put this new div. Did you guys get it? In this container, before form, put this new div. What does that mean? Look at that. I'll say, for example, container. I get access to the container. Document dot query selector hash, or not hash, dot container. Remember that container is a class, not ID. Shubham, do you remember that one? Container is a class. It's a class. And whenever you are accessing something as a class, it should be a dot. Do you guys remember that one? So that's why I've used this dot container. So container, I got the access. Now see here. What I'll do, I'll say container, in container dot insert before. There is a function called insert before. So before what? What you have to insert? You have to insert this new div before the form. And now, do you know both of them are available? Div is the div that you have created. Form is this form. Can I have a thumbs up from who understood? So I'm saying in this container, insert div before form. Wonderful. Now see here, if I come here and I click over here, look at that. It says no field should be empty. It says no field should be empty. That looks excellent. Why? Because it is, but there is an issue. It remains there. I'll talk about that, but you see that it remains there. Okay, we'll discuss that issue as well. But first of all, let's do one more thing. I want that whenever this show alert appears, this show alert might appear over here and this show alert might appear over here as well. Why not? I can call this show alert over here and I can say book successfully added. Look at that. If I click on this one, it says no field should be empty. But if I enter the book and I hit OK, it says book successfully added. So it keeps on. It is not deleting that, but you see that it keeps on adding those divs. Shubham, do you see that it's doing a very wonderful thing, that it is just adding that message? Show alert is called with the message and it just plays that message over there. Right? So it does all those kinds of things. Now here is another thing. I want that this show alert does not only represent a message, it should represent a color as well. Like, you know, for successful something like this, it should show green color. For error something, it should show red color. So what I'll do a very interesting thing. Along with the message, I will pass a class of error to this show alert. Along with message where success is there, I will pass a class of success over there as well. Do you guys understand that one? Now, first of all, let's handle that. Whenever this function now will receive not M, it will also receive a C, a class as well. And why not? While you have created the div, associate is a class. Now, we say class is equal to C. This will work, but JavaScript has class as a default name. So we use in JavaScript, we always use class name instead of class. That will automatically become class when it will go to HTML. Sagar, do you make sense what I'm saying? Actually, in JavaScript, class is a reserved word. So JavaScript minds it. JavaScript says whenever you are writing this, you always write class name, not class. So I say class name is equal to C. Whatever class is passed, it should be appeared over here. Now let's do something and I show you. This is created, and if I show you in the elements, if I show you, in the div class container. You look at that. This div is created, and do you see that it has a class error being added? And look at that, Sagar. That here I used class name is equal to C. Here is saying class is equal to error. C is whatever is being passed. And now if I make a successful class, look at that. Book is added. Now book is added. Now I'll show you. You see that book success class is equal to success. Now I'm doing a little tricky thing. I go to my HTML and you might have a style document separately, but I'm just writing style over here. I say I have two classes. One is called success. One is called error. There are certain combined properties. I would like to have their color, like text color should be white. I would like to have their width should be 100%, for example. And maybe I would like to have their border 1 pixel, solid black, whatever. Right? So I have two classes I'm defining. Now if I hit save and I go back, look at that. Text is gone white. Oh, that's why I cannot read that. Now if I just hit that one, look at that. It is creating that boxes, but it is now applying the style as well. Now success and error have combined these styles. Now I want to have a success style separately. So I say background color should be red. And for error, oh, I'm doing the other way around. Error should be red, right? Error background color should be red, while as this should be green. Green. Are you guys getting that one? Look at that. Are you guys getting that one? I hope you understand that what is going on. And I'll talk about how it will go away, but we understand it is coming up now. The error, the pop-up is coming up. Wonderful. Sagar, I can see your yeses. There's a line of your yeses, but I want others to come and play yes as well. Hitesh, that is wonderful. That's wonderful. Great. That's great. Now, just one more thing that we'll do right now before we just take another little break. Now, here comes a very interesting function. JavaScript has certain functions that run after some particular time. One of the function is called set timeout. And don't worry about this. It adds this because this is the class which is working. This dot set timeout. It has this syntax. It has a function, complete function, and then timer. So if I write 3000, 3000 means 3000 milliseconds. After 3000 milliseconds, this function should run. Now I'll show you something. After 3000 seconds, this should create an alert. 3 seconds passed. Look at that. What will happen to my document? Look at that. I'm not doing anything. After 3 seconds, you get an alert. Are you guys getting that one? Now, it can do a lot of interesting things from this DOM. I don't want just to alert. Alert is annoying. I want, for example, I say, let's do a very interesting thing. Document dot query selector hash title dot remove. Look at that. After 3 seconds, it will remove our title element, title input box. Look at that. If I hit save, look at my document. Did you guys understood what I'm trying to say? After 3 seconds, this function will run. Yakin, is that making sense? It's a very interesting function. And now if I do something else, because I already have the forms reference, why not let's play with the font? Form.remove. You are given sometimes that you have got 3 seconds before that, fill in the form. Otherwise, form will go away. Look at that, form has gone away. After 3 seconds, form is gone away. Yes, Hitesh, it does not stop that one. It just runs on its own. So if it can do that, what I'll do, the new box that is created, I will give as constant ID to it. Div ID is equal to, I say box. Give it an ID of box. You know why? Because ID is unique for every element. And what I want to do, I would say on the document, find out query selector, find out hash box. If you find a box ID, remove that. Look at that. Now I create that, and after 3 seconds, it goes away. Oh, it's not going away. Why? Maybe and it's coming up, and let's see. It's not set timeout function. Query selector hash box ID is there, but it's not removing. Interesting. Maybe I will have to change. I'll have to change the sequence of this one. I don't know. Even though it should not be a problem. Yeah. So if you see that, maybe there was a sequencing problem. Look at that. After 3 seconds, it should go away, which is not doing. This is bad. Let's see the inspector. Why not? In the body, I've got a div class equal to success ID is equal to box. Yes, there is a box ID. Okay, it's not removing that one. We'll work without this as well, but why it is not doing that? The appears it should just delete. Appears it should be deleted after 3 seconds. Interesting. It is not removing the other box, which is there. Let's go to console. Can you guys find out maybe if I made any mistake in hashing and boxing? Div.id should be the thing. New div, which is I'm creating. Give that an ID. Let's try to change the ID sometimes. So div is equal to note, for example. Let's call it note. Query selector hash note. Find that note and remove that after 3 seconds. I think set timeout run only one time. We have to run it after add book. Oh, yes, you are right. You are right. You are right. Maybe that's the problem. Oh, no, I got it. I got it. I got it. Problem is I'll have to put this inside this show alert. Look at that. Yes, you're right. Inside this show alert. Now this will work. Definitely. Sagar, thank you for reminding. Look at that. Now it will definitely work because it is in the same function which is producing. It will produce that box and then it will remove that box by itself as well. Look at that. You see that? Now I can have multiple ones and you see it will just remove all of them on their turn. You look at that. It will keep on removing them after 3 seconds. Sagar, do you do that? Do you understand? So set timeout will run with show alert. Whenever the alert is shown, it should be removed as well. Now, one part is remaining from this one. What is that? It's for deletion. So we are almost done with rest everything. We have just seen everything over here. Just deletion is remaining. So I'll take a very quick break for like evening prayers. So I'll have to just do that. So for 10 minutes, I'll take a break. And after 10 minutes, I'll come and we'll just delete that one. And to end this, I'll just convert this all code to class code. And then we will just, we'll end our today's session. Make sense, everyone, Shubham? Everyone is good with this one. So we have, we will just, take a 10 minutes break. It's around 6:40 in my clock. So I'll be back at 6:50ish. I'll just pray and I'll be back. So let's take a break and I'll be back shortly. Right, so I'm back. Hopefully everyone is here. Actually, thank you. Yakin. Thank you. Okay, so let me share my screen and let's do the last part of it, and then we'll just end the session for today. So yeah, so now we are almost done with most of the things, and it's doing some wonderful things. It is adding the books. It is adding a pop-up on the top, and that pop-up is going away after 3 seconds. We are all set. Now the thing is, we now need to just, when someone clicks on this one, it should delete this row. And that is what we have to implement. Now for that, if I come back on my HTML document, you see that this area is basically the table area. If you look at that, this is the table completely. So I want to implement a click listener on this table area. And I would like to find out that when the button is clicked, it should remove that one. So I have to attach an event to this table area. To attach event to this table area, I'm giving an ID to this table area as well. And maybe let's say I call it data. I'm giving an ID of data, for example, because here is all the data that is being gathered over here. Make sense, everyone? Now I come here, and what I'll do, let's see. I would say document dot, and it just keeps on adding this. Don't worry, it will just add that. Query selector hash data dot add event listener. Now look at that. Click. When click happens, run this function, which will have an event, and I'm calling it EVT because this event will be a very important one. Right? Document dot query selector hash data. In this particular area, run this function, and this function is coming up with an event. Now, not to tell you, I hope you guys know this event is a very interesting and important thing. And there are some real nice features of this event. We can first of all see what is this event. Let's check whether it is working and the event is generated. If I come here and I click anywhere on the table, look at that, it produces an event. Now here comes the interesting part. It has different attributes. One of the attribute that it has is called target. Target actually tells us where I have clicked on this one. So for example, you remember I clicked on this, it says TH. If I click on this one, it says TH. Right now they are all THs, but let's add a book. And now if you see that we have the book, and if I click on this DFG, look at that, and I'll show you. Look at that, this last event. If I show you, in the target, it says TD. Are you guys getting that one? So now, rather than printing the event, if I just say event.target, look at that carefully. And I come here and let's add a book as well. And look at that. If I click here, it says you have clicked on author TH. You are clicked on TD, DFG, DFGD, title, this one. And now come here. When I click on button, it says button. And this button has a class of delete. You remember I gave it a class of delete? So I would like to know that when user has clicked on this button, then this row should be removed. So what I'll do, rather than doing that consoling, I'll come here and I'll create a function. And I'll call it delete book, and I will pass the target to that one. Are you guys understanding what I'm trying to do here? I have passed the target. So if that target is that button, then delete the row, otherwise don't delete the row. Now, let's create this function delete book. And it will receive the element to delete. It will receive the element to delete, you know? It will receive the element to delete. Now, let's console that. Console.log. LM to delete. The element which is passing, we'll check. We want to check whether this function is working correctly or not. Now let's add a book as well. Look at that in the console. Look at that. When I click on author, it says TD author, TDDFG, THISBN, TDDFG. This one. And when I click on this one, it says button. Make sense, everyone? Now I can do a very interesting thing. I say if LM to delete dot, it has a attached class name equals delete. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? For example, let's console right now. Console, right area clicked, right area. Else, console.log, wrong area clicked. Look at that. Now, so I have multiple areas. If I come and click on this one, it says wrong area clicked, wrong area clicked, wrong area clicked, wrong area clicked. When I click on the button, look at that, it says right area clicked. Are you guys understanding that one? Now, if it is the right area, I don't console this. I'll do instead something else. I'll say take the element to delete, go to its parent element, go to its parent element, and dot remove that. Look at that. If I have found element to delete has a class attached to the delete, go to its parent, which is TD, go to its parent, which is TR, and remove that. Yakin, do you understand that what it's doing? Okay, let's do and add a book. Look at that. If I click here, of course, wrong area clicked because else is wrong area clicked. Wrong area clicked, wrong area clicked. But when I come and click on this button, look at that, what will happen? Cannot read properties undefined, remove. Oh, parent spelling is wrong. Yes, spelling is wrong, no problem. Parent element. Look at that. Now, look at that. If I click anywhere else, it says wrong area clicked. When I click over here and I come here and I click on this one, it removes the row. Now, if I take away one parent element from here, you know what will be removed? Only the button will be removed. Look at that. Look at that. If I click on this one, you see the book, the button is gone. Rest everything is there. Are you guys getting that one? So what I'm doing, and that's why I'm doing what? I'm making it parent of parent. So parent of parent, you guys understand what does that mean? Parent of parent? That the parent of button is TD and the parent of TD is TR. So what it will do, it will just create, it will just, now if I make one more parent element, now can you tell me what will be removed? Parent element dot parent element dot parent, not table, not table. It is in T body. T body will be removed. Let's see that. Only T body, not table. And I can remove the table as well, you know. Yes, T body. Look at that. T body is removed, T head is there. Now if I make one more parent element. Now yes, Sagar, the table will be gone. Look at that. Now look at that, everyone. If I click on this one, the all table is gone. and to make you more interesting into that, one more parent element. I don't know what will go now. Let's do that. Look at that. Everything, if I click on that, everything is gone. So maybe the container is gone now. Are you guys getting that one? I hope you understood this parent element concept. But of course, we don't want this. We want this one. We just do that, and we will just. Shubham, do you understand this LM to delete? LM to delete means we are talking about the button. Do you understand that? So I say that go to the parent of this button. The parent's button is actually TD, where TD in which this table exists. So parent of button means TD, and parent of TD means the row TR. Now listen, I kept on adding the parents. So if I say parents of that, it means T body. Parents of that, it means table. Parent of that, it means maybe container, and everything goes away. Shubham, you know what I'm saying? I hope you are making sense of it, what I'm saying. It's actually, so when I say parent of parent, it says, first of all, its first parent is TD, go to TD, and its parent is TR, and dot remove, just remove the row from there. Shubham, does that make sense to you? Please let me know. And here I will call show alert and I'll say book deleted successfully. And I'll pass what class over here? Error or mess? Success? Success, as it says successfully. So I'll pass success over here. And now instead of doing console over here, why not let's call show alert here as well. Show alert. Wrong area clicked. Click on X. And now, which I should pass error. Now look at that. Look at that. I have this book added. Now, if I click here, it will say wrong area click on X. Wrong area click on X. And it will go away by itself after 1 second. If I come here and I click on this one, book deleted successfully. I can add multiple books. I've had multiple books, and now if I click on this one, only that books goes away and it says book deleted successfully. Book deleted successfully. Book deleted successfully. Shubham, did you get everything? This is now almost done. And again, the class part, I will do that next week, maybe. Next time I'll just do that. But do you guys understand that one? And in the end, I would like to talk to those who are looking at the recording, like section 4 and section 3, that please, if you have any questions related to that, please come to me. Otherwise, what I'll do, I'll just make a comment over here. And when we'll make a comment, of course, you all will get that. Yes, Vaishali, I'm just doing that. You will get this code now. Look at that. When I will be in the main where my my GitHub repository is. So I'll just go here. So you'll find this all in the repository. You'll find all that in the repository. It is finding all the changings which has been happened. Yes, this happened. And now look at that, Vaishali. I would say March 7. And it's not for, of course, my Vaishali or this group. It's for every group. Now this will be committed. And do you remember that I have this GitHub repository? I'll show you that. Sign out for me. Sign in for me. Yes, just do that. So do you guys remember that we have got this one? No, this not this one. The repository name is oh, which one is the repository that I'm using there? Do you know the link to the repository? Oh, PROG8166. Sorry. So this is the repository. So look at that. Actually, you will get all that code over here. Look at that. It has all the books.html. And if you go to scripts, the books script, look at that. All that script is here. Vaishali, you get that? It's everything is here. Okay, thank you very much for all of you who have joined till this point, and I'm really thankful to you. Can you show the midterm coding solution? Yes, Hitesh, I will share the solution, and someone else was asking about that like last question as well. I'll just give you that the regular expression that I wanted to show. So I will show you that. I will share the solution later on with everyone. Right? I'll share the solution with you, and you can have a look at that one. I'll just find it out and share that with you. Right? So thank you very much, and enjoy your day. And yes, Sagar, go ahead. Go ahead. Sagar, you have a quiz question. Yes, go ahead.
Sir, can I share my screen?
Yeah, sure. I'm stopping recording first of all.